So here we are again. I've just recorded 15 minutes of footage and then wasn't happy with it, so I'm doing it again. This is basically a follow-up video on the on the Why Bolivia video and the How Bolivia video, and because I felt I didn't answer all these questions or the question adequately, so I'm trying to get back into that. How did I get this land? Well, a series of circumstances. I was renting a place near Tarija, which is also the town and the department. And the owners of that place had this place for sale, in a nutshell. Yeah, we had some issues, legal issues as well, but those are now all solved, they're all settled. So the place is ours now. Now, I was able to buy this land outright, without interference from the bank, without having to go for mortgages or all that. So I know I was very lucky in that. So I'm basically debt free, which is a great feeling. So that would be my first advice: get out of debt. Cut up your credit card. There, I've said it. Cut up your credit card. Credit cards are your enemy. They're like cats and dogs. There we go. Ladies, enough. So credit cards are your enemy. Get rid of your credit card. Start paying off your debt, and then don't overspend. A stitch in time saves 9. So mend and make do. You don't need that new blouse every 3 weeks. You don't need a new pair of shoes every month. You don't need a 15,000-inch flat screen TV. You don't need those things. That is, if you want to homestead. Homesteading is about making choices, and sometimes hard choices. For example, like I said in the other video, if you have a homestead, it's going to be very, very difficult to travel. Even 2 days away is a logistical challenge. Yeah, so who's going to take care of the animals? What's going to happen with the garden? The chickens, the cats, the quail, the ducks, the weeds in the vegetable patch, etc., etc., etc. So those are choices that you make. Now, if that feels too much like a sacrifice, then don't do it. Now, don't be one of those homesteaders that want to try to show the world how brave and alternative they are by sacrificing their comfort for the noble goal of homesteading. Nobody's interested. And it's a waste of time because you're not going to be happy. And I think the main reason why people get into homesteading, or one of the main reasons should be, at least in my book, is to try to find happiness. I think that's the pursuit of happiness is one of the most important things there is, I think. So when saying that, so get out of debt, change your habits, change your addictions, lose your addictions. Addictions are expensive, and addiction can be anything and everything, from watching TV to obviously smoking, drinking, illegal addictions. Lose them, get rid of them. You don't need them. They're only there to weigh you down. And I'm not being preachy or a missionary thing here. I was a smoker for 30 years and I gave it up. Because I realized it wasn't doing anything for me. It wasn't contributing anything to my life. And so I got rid of it. Instead, I made learning my hobby. And I know this sounds a bit strange, but nowadays with YouTube, there are so many great YouTubers, especially for homesteading, that there's no excuse really. I mean, there's Mr. Charles Dowding, to name one, the master of no dig. Then there is Self-Sufficient Me, Mark, in Australia. Then there is obviously Mr. Joel Salatin, Mr. Justin Rhodes, Mr. Paul Wheaton, I don't know if he has a YouTube channel on the top of my head, but he was the one that taught me, well, through his website, obviously, about hugel culture and rocket mass heaters. So yeah, try to make learning your hobby instead of watching that 17,000 superhero villain movie, Marvel, whatever. Don't ask me who Wolverine is, because I wouldn't be able to answer, because I just don't care, because that's not going to help me with my homesteading. So I'd much rather learn about biodigesters and wood gasifiers and walls of Trumbo and cob building and super adobe and all that kind of thing, than waste my time, because sorry, that's to me that is what it is. Learning about Spider-Man and God, I can't even, and Batman and Superman and all the other superheroes that seem to be flooding our screens nowadays. So will a superhero help me build my farm? No, of course he won't. Will Mr. Charles Dowding and his no-dig techniques do that? Yes, absolutely. Will Mr. Joel Salatin and his rather unusual look at animal husbandry, will that help me? Yes, absolutely. So make learning your hobby, and that is basically for free. I mean, you're watching YouTube as it is. Spend within your means. Spend within your means. Again, get out of debt. Again, stitch in time saves 9. Yeah, don't throw out that old jeans. Give it a stitch. It gives it character. Put a patch on it. It gives it character. Make it last. Make it last longer. Buy good quality to begin with. Yeah. Cry once, basically. Buy, again, within your means. Spend wisely. Now, for example, my machinery, my brush cutter, my chainsaws, they're all steel. Am I sponsored by steel? I wish. Steel is one of them, in my book at least, one of the better brands. And everything is steel. Why is everything steel? Because it's all the same two-stroke engine. It's all the same 40-to-1 ratio. It makes my life a lot easier with mixing fuel. And then, yes, I did commit the mortal sin of buying a cheaper one. And it turns out to be useless. So that money was just thrown away, basically. Now, in saying that, brush cutters and chainsaws are things that I'm going to use every single day here. Or not every single day, but on a regular basis. I mean, at least once a week, I'm breaking out the chainsaw or the brush cutter, one or the other, to do some stuff around the property. Now, in the same time, I do have a bit of woodworking tools, and they're off-brand. Yeah, my drills are not Makita or Milwaukee or DeWalt. They're not. Why? Because I don't use them every day. I'm not a professional woodworker. I maybe build a piece of furniture or a cupboard or whatever once every blue moon. I don't need it every single day. So they are off-brand. They are not professional quality. They don't need to be. So determine where your needs are. And I would say for things that you use every day, for example, a brush cutter, go one step up from your bare minimum. Yeah, so if you need a home and garden setup, but your garden is rather big, go for a semi-professional. You say, yeah, but semi-professional is too big for me. Yes, but it's good to have that little bit of extra. In chainsaws, I would go, be careful with that. In chainsaws, I would go, here on my property, the diameter of my trees are no more than 2 foot. I don't have any trees that I'm going to cut down, at least, that are bigger than 2 feet. So, in diameter. So do I need a massive jungle beast of a chainsaw? No. No, it's too heavy. It's too unwieldy. It's too heavy. It's also too expensive. So adjust your needs. Yeah. So don't try to be the macho man and look at how big and heavy my tools are. I mean, come on. It's not a pissing contest. Then do stuff. Don't just fantasize. So yeah, this is a bit contradictory, maybe a bit controversial, maybe. And I myself am rather guilty of this. I love my YouTube. I love watching what other people are doing, and sometimes that eats into my own work time. But there are people. I have this acquaintance in Bolivia, a guy I know, and he's always looking at the alternative news sites. And we all know what those are like. And he doesn't put a spade in the ground. And I say, well, why don't you grow your vegetable patch? Why don't you grow your own vegetables? And he goes, no, because I'm too tired, because the internet is cheaper at night, and so I have to keep abreast with the international situation. I said, okay, yeah. So you're not doing your vegetable patch, but you wanted a homestead, but you're not doing anything in your vegetable patch because you're too tired, because you spend your nights watching international news instead of sleeping. Yeah, because I need to know why I'm doing this. Hold on a minute, you're not doing anything. You're wasting your time. Yeah, but it's important to know about international news. Yeah, that's true. But what are you going to do about it? Do you really need to watch 6 hours of news footage? No. Stay informed, stay abreast of global events, absolutely. Don't exaggerate. Get out there, do stuff. Don't fantasize. Don't, if I had $1 million, I would. No, I have $100, I can. That should be your attitude. And yeah, slowly does it, easy does it, bit by bit, every day, chip away. Mariah, please. That's the little dog, the young dog. We adopted a young dog. She's a puppy. So there you go. So that's more or less my take on how I started with homesteading, and how I did my stuff, what my philosophy on things is. Maybe as a last thing, when you're on your property, and even when you're filming YouTube, I used to be a biker, and in the biker community we have a saying, Chrome doesn't get you home. So in the homesteading community, that fancy hat that you're wanting to show off, or you're always running around in sandals, or even a leather jacket like I do, that will not make your homestead grow. It's the dirt under your nails that makes the homestead grow. It's the scratches and the bruises that make your homestead grow. It's the falling asleep at 9 o'clock in the evening over your dinner that makes your homestead grow. It's a choice. And again, if that choice is too much of a sacrifice, then don't do it.